Oh, everybody, what is up? Welcome. We are the XoneBros. This is your positive gaming and Xbox One community. It's been another This is a great time to be a gamer.
Oh, yeah.
Like one of the best times to be a gamer. We've got tons of options. We've got tons of things. We got tons of announcement, tons of gaming news. It's fabulous, and I love it. And I love it that it's fabulous.
Fabuloso.
Fabuloso. We are your positive gaming and Xbox One community. As always, I am joined by the bros, the XoneBros. First, it's the man with the beard, who's had a beard for years. We actually were just discussing this in the pre-show.
Yeah.
Actually, you heard it if you're listening to this.
I think the pre-show was part of the promo.
Yeah.
And they just about a minute and a half ago, for those listening, heard that.
Yeah, so you've had it for years. You should go stash. We should all go stash.
I've gone stash.
Let's do it.
My profile picture on Twitter right now is a stash.
It is November 1st.
Right, yeah.
Let's stash it up, guys.
It is November.
I have family pictures tomorrow. So after they take those, I'm gold.
Yeah. All right. We could do
Alex from Call of Duty actually has really inspired me.
Who?
Modern mustache.
Dude, that stash is
He's got a good stash. He's got a good
too
one.
legit. It's Jordan the man also.
Hello.
And I'm XoneBros. Sorry, Spicy, you were going to say something?
No, I'm just still on camera. Oh, I thought I was still on camera. That monitor over there is delayed.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
screwing
Really
me
delayed.
up.
Oh, yeah, it's super
You gotta
delayed.
watch that one.
I gotta watch that one. Okay.
Guys,
Anyways, I
guess
wasn't
what
gonna say
today is? Today is the day of Blizzcon.
Yep, first day.
BlizzCon has come, so let's just jump.
Coming left.
It's coming.
Well, it's actually going on tomorrow.
I went to bed early last night, so I could
So
do.
you could wake up and watch it?
No, it didn't start till noon at our time.
Oh.
But so I could go do work and then watch it
Wait, it legit didn't start till noon?
Yeah,
here.
here.
It started at
Started at
11
there.
I
But
totally
here.
could have joined in the participation.
Remember when I told you yesterday, hey, David, it actually starts at noon?
And
Does
then
that
you
change
said
anything? And you
You
said,
said,
no,
it
that
doesn't change
help at
anything. Yeah, it doesn't help at all.
I was literally standing right next to you.
Oh, well, whatever. I got a lot of work done. Let's talk about BlizzCon. Some big news came out, and the news that pertains to the Xbox and Xbox One. Let's start with Diablo 4. Diablo 4, it was announced. There was a cinematic trailer. There was some gameplay. Some details were announced. Jordan, why don't you go through the details of Diablo 4 first, and then after you go through the details, I'd like to get Mr. McSpicy's reaction in particular. But Jordan, go through details. Go ahead.
So detail number one, just to get this out of the way, it's not coming out anytime soon, like at all.
They were very specific.
Yeah, they said, by the way, it's not coming out soon. It's not even coming out Blizzard soon.
Yeah, that's what they said.
Oh, really? That's
and that was in the panel.
Yeah, wasn't
on
wasn't even in the deep dive because all that stuff is tomorrow.
And
right?
what is Blizzard soon? A really long time.
Well,
ago.
StarCraft 2 was announced in 1999.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's right.
and then it took until 2008
Yeah,
or 9 to come out.
wow.
Yeah. Blizzard soon is So it's
Yeah,
going to be probably a decade till we see it.
So we don't know too much about basically what happened is they did the announcement trailer and then they showed us a gameplay trailer, which if you're watching us live, you're looking at right now. We do know a few things. They're going to do a deep dive tomorrow, which is know more in depth of systems and stuff like that.
Okay.
We do know that there's going to be. They've announced 3 characters.
Yes.
One is the barbarian. Oh yeah,
Boom.
I play the barbarian.
Well, they go through
Oh,
it
yeah.
on this.
Oh, yeah.
The
gameplay.
barbarian is crunchy.
He's the Viking looking dude.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
He looks like he's
Oh, and
there.
there's
to
like the
beat
wizard?
down.
Oof.
There's the sorceress, which actually Mark usually plays the sorceress.
Yeah.
I'm a range.
She has some crazy abilities as well. And then a new class, the druid.
Which when they announced druid, we were like, me and Jordan were like, huh. And Jordan,
interesting.
Jordan was like, it could be fun.
And then
They showed him.
yeah, he turned into a bear.
He turned into a
Oh,
bear,
yeah, look at
and
this
then
right
like,
here. It's right here.
and then like a werewolf.
Oh,
So good.
yeah.
And I really like his little wolf friends that follow him around.
Yeah.
Another feature.
I like the vehicles too.
What we just saw right there,
They're called mounts.
Mounts. Sorry, I mean I call them vehicles.
and how you can dismount as a charge.
Yeah, that
they,
was cool.
they talked about that because they want to keep you in the action.
Yeah.
So another cool feature that they were talking about is if you've ever played Path of Exile, this Diablo, this next Diablo sounds like it's going to have similar systems to that. So it's going to be an online world.
Okay.
I mean, they did say you can play alone, so we'll see how that goes at launch.
And by online, sorry, to clarify, there are like towns that are social points of where people are just like Path of Exile.
Just like in Path of Exile. So if you go to a town, you'll see other people. You can trade with those other people, which is really cool. You can chat with them. You can inspect them. You can talk, build specs, all that stuff. The big thing is you can actually group up with them to do dungeons outside in the world and public events. And they did actually show one boss in a public event, and it showed a bunch of players fighting him. That's him right there if you're watching on stream. But it sounds really cool. And the other big feature, I just lost my train of thought. What was the other big feature, Mark?
Open world, new classes.
Oh, that was it. Open. They're going to do
not linear.
Yeah, you can do the campaign in. They said they said basically if you want to do the campaign you can, but then you can stop, do side stuff, do other stuff. It's not a linear thing. It sounds.
Yeah.
I don't want to necessarily say open world, but that's kind of what they said. So.
Yeah.
So that's kind of a 10,000-foot view. Now let's dive in. McSpicy, I want to get your initial thoughts and impressions on Diablo 4. What did you think with the announcement today?
Oh, they did a really good job at announcing it. They started off with the cinematic trailer, which I don't know if you've ever seen a Blizzard trailer when they actually try to do a trailer.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about no Hearthstone cutscenes where it's like 3 frames per second. This looks gorgeous. We're watching it right now live. While me and Jordan were watching it, I'm like, oh, is this Diablo 1? Because they haven't announced Diablo 4 at this point.
Sure.
You're looking at a church, and then there's a hole going underneath the church, which is what we're watching. We're watching right now. See that hole, and I'm thinking, this is Diablo 1? You know,
we were thinking they were like remastered,
like a remaster.
Yeah,
which still would be cool.
Yeah.
Would be really cool.
Diablo 1 was really short compared to the other games, but they could do the same. Diablo 2 as well. With that same storyline, because it follows the same storyline with how Diablo works, or I guess the lore. But then we're trying to guess these characters that we're looking at now. The cinematic is awesome. Everybody go search Diablo 4 cinematic trailer just to see how good this looks.
It does suck you in right away. It's very intense.
Yeah,
very immersive.
But you're getting excited, and throughout the video, it gets announced that it's Diablo 4. Mm-hmm. We're introduced to a new character. Am I okay to talk about the trailer?
Absolutely, of course.
Okay. Well, the game's not coming out for like 10 years. So.
Okay, we're gonna talk about a new evil, and what's interesting is throughout this trailer there are symbols that designate 3, which I'm thinking the 3 prime evils, which is part of the lore of Diablo. But
everything was 3. He repeated 3 multiple
times, which I'm thinking. So are they going to reincarnate? Because how many times can you kill Diablo?
Oh yeah.
How many times? Can
3 technically for eternity.
Well, in Diablo 3, we didn't fight any of the prime evils, did we? I think we all fought the lesser evils.
Yeah.
Anyways, so I don't remember hearing about Lilith. That's the new.
Yeah, villain. I don't know. In fact, I was asking before the show: is she like Greek lore? What lore is she?
So
whatever she is.
And I learned this watching the panels.
Okay.
Apparently, she is the daughter of Malthael.
Oh, very good. You know who Malthael is, right?
Yes.
He, for those that don't know, he's the one that he was the archangel of something. Anyway, he was Death in Reaper of Souls. He became Death.
Okay.
Yeah, he controls basically
and they do kind of announce that in her title because he says the daughter of hatred and death, right? Death and hatred or something like that.
So that's what they said, she was the daughter. She was the one who created Sanctuary. And Sanctuary is this, in this lore, it is their land. It's Earth.
Where the humans.
Yeah, and
so the moral realm.
That is said in the cinematic trailer. I think that's her son. I'm not sure. The guy that's
the bald dude?
The bald blue dude.
Yeah, I didn't know I didn't know who that was. But it's really exciting to get new lore in the Diablo universe. It's a very good universe. You spend a lot of time learning about the lore, right, and playing it. But initially, so my first initial thoughts are I'm really excited. I love getting hyped for games that I've played in the past and sequels, and it looks good. It looks really good. When you look at the game, so we're looking at watching the cinematic trailer. We just watched the gameplay trailer. When you look at those heroes fight, for example, the barbarian, how heavy he hits,
Yeah.
how he dives in and just takes hits. And then as he's building his fury or his... I never played
I believe
Barbarian.
it was Fury.
It was Fury, okay.
Fury, Rage, whatever you want
Yeah,
to call
the
it.
rage or whatever. He starts catching on fire. You couldn't do that in Diablo 2 days because the hardware couldn't handle the particle effects. But what I really noticed was like the druid, he would turn into a bear halfway through the animation.
Yeah.
So it's not just a flicker animation. They're taking a lot of care in
Detail.
the detail
Yeah.
in how the fights are taking place.
Well, what I notice in that druid is when he switches, the lightning particle effects are happening all around him, and he's
Yeah.
still casting with lightning. And when he switches back, and his weapon comes to his hand,
Yeah.
and it's instant lightning.
Yeah.
It's so good. It looks really good.
Looks really, really good. The sorceress, she has an ability. It looks like an ultimate ability. I don't know what it was, but she turned into a ball of lightning
Just
and
flew
killed
around,
everything.
yeah.
Just flying around, killing everything.
Yeah.
I've noticed, like when in some of the not cutscenes, but in some of the footage they showed I think it was the barbarian walking down some steps, and the way his clothes moved, I have not seen in Diablo yet. You know what I mean? It's updated. It actually feels like a Diablo 4
Yeah.
instead of a Diablo 3 skin, which we'll get into Overwatch 2 later, which is kind of where the vibe I'm going with that. But I'm always excited for new toys, and this is hopefully I get to play it before I die.
So let me ask you about this before we go to Jordan, and I have some questions for Jordan. What was your thoughts and feelings on the tone? It seems very, very dark, in the vein of like Diablo 2 was super dark.
Yeah.
If not darker, do you like that, or do you prefer?
Well, no, that's going back to the roots. You watch the first Diablo 1 opening cinematic. This is when I was a kid, and it was terrifying. It starts off with that crow, just sitting on that sign or whatever it is, and that game was very, very dark. Real quick, that game was about hell, which is all Diablo appearing underneath a church, and you go down the layers of that church, and you end up killing Diablo. Diablo 2 is one of my favorite games of all time. I've purchased that game probably 20 times in my life because I always got the itch to play it, and I never had the CDs. I always lost the CDs. Diablo 2 took a really unique lore twist in the fact that you are chasing down yourself from Diablo 1. In Diablo 1, you kill Diablo. I mean, I'm going to talk about this. If you don't want to know about how the game works, I mean, it's 20 years old, so we're good. We're good. You kill Diablo, but Diablo, as he dies, apparently he put some sort of parasite in you. When I say you, the hero that killed Diablo. And then in Diablo 2, you are tracking down the old hero that killed Diablo, because for some reason Diablo, your old hero, needs to head a certain direction, and it's because he's gradually succumbing to Diablo spawning in your body again.
Yeah, crystal in the forehead.
Yeah. It's a really cool take that you are chasing down yourself.
That is cool.
Very dark. Very, very dark. Even Diablo 3 was somewhat dark, but it actually seemed a little bit more lighthearted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, even Diablo 2 with the crazy guy in the prison.
Oh, yeah. Well, because that was the guy.
Yeah.
He's the guy that followed the Wanderer.
Yep.
And the Wanderer, when in Diablo 2 they call it the Wanderer, that was your old hero that you were following. Super cool lore. You watch this trailer, it's perfect time for Halloween.
It is perfect time for Halloween.
It's dark.
It's
like
dark.
blood. People die.
And
I'm just saying, people die in the trailer.
And they set up Lilith so cool. In fact, we're about to see her screenshot, but when she is standing there and they flash to her face and then they pan out and she's standing there and her cape, there's a cape behind her, and her cape is blood of the victims.
It's blood of the
that
victims
she just killed. And
they used the blood. They used all these people's blood to create a portal
to summon her
summon her through the portal.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so good, man.
It's very dark, but you like that. You like that tone. You think it's matching what you've come to expect
with
from
a name like Diablo. I don't expect to be fighting butterflies.
Yeah. Watch right there. Oh, I love that shot. That is cool. That is really cool.
Yeah. I'm interested why they chose the name Lilith. Because I'm thinking Battlefield, or no, I'm thinking Borderlands,
I'm thinking Frasier.
Firehawk.
You're thinking
Frasier's wife.
Frasier.
Which, I mean...
Lilith.
Well, I mean, yeah, look at all the other names like
I know.
Deckard Cain, Tyrael, Mathael, Imperius, Lilith.
Diablo.
Diablo.
Can't forget Bob.
Asmodad.
Don't forget Bob.
Yeah, Asmodad. Yeah.
Jordan, let me go to you real quick.
Lilith. Lilith's come to kill us.
Don't worry. Lilith's come to kill us all. Jordan, let me go to you. I want to know, what do you think about moving in the direction of open world, taking some stuff from Path of Exiles? You think this is a good move, or would you rather Diablo stick with Diablo more linear?
No,
type of stuff?
Path of Exile basically is Diablo 2. That's why everybody loves it so much.
Okay.
Just with updated features of the community, the more open world, right? So I mean,
And
plus I think Path of Exile took a lot of Diablo 3 players.
oh,
Yeah,
it
no,
100% did.
So
And the skill tree in Path of Exile blows my mind.
And
It's like
during
the
the
infinite skill tree.
during the panel today, they did show a skill tree,
They
which
showed
was
it,
very cool.
and
yeah.
it was, it wasn't the same art style as a Path of Exile skill tree, but it had the same.
It's like the same principle.
Well, it's just you could choose this, and it paths down like Diablo 2 did.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, which is really good. No, I think every change that they've told us about so far, I think is in the right direction. The darkness, the new gameplay features, the social hubs, I like that. I know a lot of people didn't like when Diablo 3 came out, how you had to be online to play. Do you
Yeah.
remember that?
Yeah.
Well, I think the only reason people didn't like that is because the servers crashed.
Well, when you have a game that's when you
Well,
can't
Diablo
play
3
for
did
2
not.
weeks,
Diablo 3 did not have a good launch.
No.
it had a bad year.
Yeah.
They did say, we'll probably find out more tomorrow. They did say you could, because they talked about like, oh, well, if you go to these community towns or whatever, blah, blah, what about the people that want to play by themselves? They did say that you can play by yourselves. I don't know if that means you can be offline and play. I mean, in this day and age, I don't think you really can. I think most games have to check in online anyway.
Yeah.
But no, I think every change they're making, for me at least, is in the right direction. And I
Yeah.
dig the new art style
Yeah.
and the new engine that they're using.
They also said that there will be PvP as well. So,
Yes.
which, by the way, they said that before launch on Diablo 3, but they never actually ended up releasing it because they couldn't figure out balancing.
Yeah.
Lilith,
For a long time.
Lilith is actually a. This is Jim the Stuff guy just sent this to me. The name Lilith is a Hebrew baby name. Sorry, in Hebrew.
Are you muted?
No, you guys were doing really good conversation. I didn't want to interrupt it.
Text
Yeah, I
David.
texted
You
him.
can interrupt us.
Look at
I
this.
know, I just didn't want
Well,
to break
Lilith
it.
means in Hebrew night monster, storm goddess. In Jewish folklore, Lilith was a female demon and the first wife of Adam.
There you go.
Lilith.
Lilith. It
For
sounds
some
like a
reason,
pretty
it
name,
doesn't
but it's
sound
I know.
terrifying.
Yeah, it doesn't.
I could see someone naming their kid Lilith and then finding out.
It's like
later.
saying, guys.
Like,
it's like
oh,
saying, guys. Jacques is here.
Jean.
Jacques is here. He's gonna kill us all. Like, well, Jacques doesn't.
Jean-Louis
scare me.
is
Jean-Louis. Exactly.
What'll be really interesting is this takes place after the events of Diablo 3. So I want to know if we're going to see some old characters, which will be kind of cool if they're going to be in it, or if they're kind of going to go in a new direction, or,
we
what
thought,
they're doing.
on that initial cinematic, we thought that one of the guys was Tyrael. Right?
Yeah, at first, and then we realized he wasn't.
And then we realized he wasn't. He was some what is he, like he wanted to learn knowledge.
Yeah, he was
right?
he was a college man.
He was a college grad wanting
Yeah.
to get more education.
So
but-
the other big thing from BlizzCon that we've seen is Overwatch 2. And I want to get Spicy's thoughts on this first. They showed a story cinematic trailer
Oh, yeah.
that was, is Overwatch back? Yes, we're back, baby. But what they talked about was PvE. And I want to really get Spicy's thoughts on PvE, because Spicy is our resident Overwatch player. That's his game of choice, or has been his game of choice
I like
in
it.
the past. Yeah,
I really like Overwatch a lot.
So the announcement of PvE in Overwatch, it was no secret that it was coming, so this just kind of finalized it on stage for everybody. They talked a little about it. Jeff Kaplan did. What are your thoughts on PvE? Do you like this idea? There's also a new game mode coming too in PvP, but what is Overwatch 2 PvE thoughts?
Okay. They actually announced several things. We can talk about the PvP because or PvE. They have a hero mode. What are all the modes, Jordan? Do you remember?
So there's going to be your PvE/story mode or
Co-op,
whatever. Yeah. There's going to be hero mode, which is the same thing. It's still a PvE mode, but it's more. They kept comparing it to like adventure mode in Diablo 3.
They said
or
it's
World Quest in World of Warcraft.
Highly replayable.
Yeah.
highly replayable.
And then there is the new mode push for competitive.
Correct. Yeah. So PvP. So and right now you have capture the hill basically, and then you escort a payload, and then you have a hybrid of those two.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they've had in Overwatch for the last 5 years. They're adding now. It's like a tug of war payload.
Both sides have to push the payload.
There is a robot pushing something, whatever direction has it. So it's so a payload. You have to escort the payload into their base, right?
And it's attack. It's attack versus defense.
Correct. Yes.
Right now.
This is the PvP side of things. This is you have to control that point, and then the point moves to the direction of the other team. And if they lose control of that, I assume when they're all there, it doesn't move. When they have control, it'll go the other direction. So it's a total tug of war.
Yeah, they showed it during the what's next panel. So what there is, did you see the what's next?
I didn't.
It's
see
really
that.
cool. So what it is, I actually, so when they first announced it, I was like, oh, cool, new mode. And yeah, I kind of brushed over it, but it's actually, I think it's a super cool mode. So the map is mirrored. It's a perfectly symmetrical map. And basically there's a lane that goes, symmetrical on both sides, and there's one robot in the center. You control that one robot, and then if you control him, he then goes and pushes your thing, right?
Yeah.
And then the team, basically you fight over control of that robot. And how it works is the more players you have on that robot, he'll go your way, or the more and then if it's
also it
obviously
doesn't
5v5.
stop. So if they have one person on it and we have 4, it's still going in that direction.
That's how I think it would be, and that's kind of how they showed it. They only showed it with like test characters, like a Maeve or Saphira type thing.
Okay.
But basically, when no one controls it, he runs back to the center,
Oh, because that's
and then you'll go want to run back and
with
get,
the tug of war. I'm thinking because they said this is going to be in
So is it
the
point-based?
Overwatch League. Well, no, you
It's
have to
distance
get
based.
It's distance based.
Oh,
You have to
okay.
get to the other side. I was thinking if you have 2 really good teams, the matches are going to last hours.
Well, because I thought there was
It's got
going
to
to
be
be
on a timer,
2
right?
robots.
Is it on a timer?
I don't know.
So what it is there is a timer, and then when that timer runs out, whoever's let's call it a marker, whoever's marker's furthest wins. There's also a checkpoint on the map for each side. If you make it to that checkpoint becomes your forward spawn, so you get an advantage because you spawn closer.
okay.
Right?
There you go.
Cool.
And then there is an ending point if you make it all the way to the ending point before
If the time runs out, it's whoever
an
got it
automatic.
furthest?
Yeah, time runs out. Whoever got it furthest wins. If you get it to your ending point, automatic victory.
Oh, very cool. I like
But yeah,
that.
it's one central robot with a symmetrical map, and whoever controls that bot, it's not the point you control; it's the actual bot. So you have to stay on him.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's actually, after watching it in like demo gameplay that they were showing, it actually does look really fun.
Okay.
That sounds
Yeah.
cool. That's a cool
Yeah.
concept.
I should also mention the reason we're talking about Diablo and Overwatch is they announced that they're releasing it for Xbox. So
Yeah. No phones. They didn't.
yeah, they did not mention mobile. Yay. So back to your original question, my thoughts on it. I think it's great. I think this game needs a lot of updates. They announced that they're going to be releasing for Overwatch 2 several maps and several heroes.
Yep.
Me and Jordan had this discussion earlier today. I'm curious on why they're calling it a sequel. And
For Overwatch 2?
yeah, because they actually started out. Jeff Kaplan was saying we want to re-envision what a sequel actually means, and all these things make me think that they're trying to envision a sequel as actually being an expansion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
During the panel, he actually mentioned it again because he talked about it. He said, just to clarify, because he was looking at Twitter and stuff between sessions, he's like, a lot of people were confused, and he kind of re-explained it.
Well, it is confusing.
Which made a little bit more sense. And then even I love Jeff Kaplan, by the way. He's one of my favorite
He's
game
awesome.
directors. Yeah.
He is. He's like Phil Spencer of Blizzard.
Yeah, he really is.
Yeah.
But even
Although
after
now Phil Spencer is Phil Spencer of Blizzard.
You were talking about Mikey Barra?
Oh, my bad. Yeah. Never mind.
I know we were like,
Never mind.
what?
False news, fake news.
Fake news.
Fake news.
Ooh, just in. This just in. Sorry.
No,
Our good friend Mikey Barra went to Blizzard.
He re-explained it again, and I kind of got what he was saying, but I was still kind of confused. So I then went to the internet, and I do have an explanation that does make sense.
Oh, you
that I will
do you have
read for you guys.
Okay, let's
so
hear
this is from The Verge. So if it's wrong, blame them, not me. But basically,
that's good.
it says Blizzard is taking the unconventional approach to this sequel, promising, quote, a shared multiplayer environment where current Overwatch players, which meaning Overwatch 1, will be able to play against Overwatch 2 players in PvP multiplayer and will have access to all the new Overwatch 2 heroes and maps. And then Jeff Kaplan also went on to say, if you do go to Overwatch 2, everything you've earned and gained in Overwatch 1 comes with you. All your skins, sprays, everything.
But
right?
why go to Overwatch? I don't understand where the disconnect is.
They said the reason they're calling it a sequel is because the sheer amount of content that's coming in Overwatch 2, it is a proper sequel, and they are using updated engine, new features, stuff like that.
Basically, what you don't get if you don't go to Overwatch 2, because you still get all the PvP stuff, you don't get the PvE stuff.
Now, keeping this in mind, there's still a lot we don't know, right? You know, so
at least according to this definition.
Yeah, what I'm thinking, and this is what I told Mark earlier, what I think is happening is you're paying for the new single-player co-op experience, right? That's what you'll mostly be updating to, right?
Yeah.
My question is they have a new... They talked about having a new engine, or not a new engine, an updated engine, and they did say specifically co-op maps that could handle bigger, larger co-op experiences. And what I want to know is if that engine can handle that, how is the Overwatch engine on Overwatch 1 going to be able to play on those new Overwatch 2 maps? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But they did specifically say co-op, so maybe that doesn't apply to the multiplayer
they
maps.
said updated engine, which it's not a new engine.
Well, yeah, updated engine, yeah. So, now I don't know if they're going to come out with like this huge update when Overwatch 2 announces, because in the new in Overwatch 2, you're going to have new character models, and you can kind of see the character. Basically, they talked about the new technology they're using for their character models and blah 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 and all that stuff, right? Basically, there's a lot we don't know, but what we do know is if you don't want to buy Overwatch 2 and you just want to hold on to Overwatch 1, you can.
They're not
as
dividing,
of right now,
they're not dividing the player base.
You can still play Overwatch 2 PvP multiplayer and will have access to all new Overwatch 2 heroes and maps.
Yeah, it's interesting.
See, if it was any other game, say Battlefield, or let's just say Battlefield. When they release a few new maps and a few new characters, let's even say Rainbow Six. That's considered an expansion. And you still get to play with all the people that have the original game. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think they're trying to redefine a sequel as an expansion.
It feels to me...
Maybe hype is what they're trying to do?
Even through this video,
possible.
it feels to me that they're trying to reset. Because even in the video, they're like, are you guys back? And that was a very poignant thing. It was like, well, and I'm thinking like, well, you never went anywhere. And they're like, we're back. And I think Overwatch 2 is...
John Wick.
Yeah. And
I'm thinking I'm back.
Well, and I think Overwatch 2 is... Like, the reason they're calling Overwatch 2 is because we're changing some things, right? I don't know what they're changing.
Well, what I thought it was,
but that's what it feels like a reset. That they want to, boom, reset from here on.
What I thought it was going to be, and what I told Mark is, I thought it was going to be. No, it still is confusing, even though we got some clarification. And like I said, there's still a lot we don't know. Things can change, whatever, right? But basically, I thought it was going to be like what Heroes of the Storm did. Heroes of the Storm came out with a massive update that changed a lot of things, and they called it Heroes 2.0. Yeah. I thought this was going to be Overwatch 2.0. Yeah. You know what I mean? But, yeah. Well, so what they're saying, or what they said during the panel, is Overwatch 2, it's going to have a lot of content, right? It's going to have... They talked about having just as much maps as Overwatch 1 when it released. They're going to have all original 31 heroes plus new ones. So there's going to be a lot of content in there, but that's my question is, okay, well, what's making me... I play Overwatch mostly for the multiplayer, which, don't get me wrong, the single player or the story stuff looks cool, right? And I'll probably end up getting it, but your competitive scene... basically, my question is, how much are you going to charge and what do you get? Am I paying $60 just for the story stuff? Because if that's the case, as an average consumer, maybe I'm thinking, well, if I already have access to all the multiplayer stuff, why upgrade to 2? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm just wondering where the incentive is for some people, as opposed to, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's well, it's PvE.
Yeah,
That's what it seems to be.
And
right now.
I'm not saying it's going to be $60. Maybe it's just going to be a $40 thing, and that's a little bit more appealing for just that mode. Or you know what I mean? Now they did dive a lot into the PvE stuff, and there's a lot of cool features. The story looks cool. The maps look cool. It has that RPG element of upgrading abilities to certain characters, and there's actually one for Hanzo players. I thought it was actually the best ability. You can level up your heroes in this story mode, and you can choose different modifiers to your abilities. One that Hanzo has a radar arrow that you shoot out, and then it pings everybody and shows them in red. Basically, the modifier that you can do is he shoots out the arrow, it pings everybody, and then his next arrow actually auto-targets everybody that was pinged. So it actually looks really cool. So
That is cool.
There's a lot of cool features coming in that mode, and I think it's going to be fun because Blizzard does a lot of good stuff, and their storytelling is really good.
Oh, their
And
storytelling's on point.
Mark's actually been getting into the lore recently, and he's saying it's fantastic.
The
lore
for
of
Overwatch.
Overwatch.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's so good.
Yeah, so I think it's going to be fun. I just, like most players, are kind of confused, and I asked the question, well, like, why upgrade to 2? Is it just the thing? What? I just have questions, is all.
Yeah, I
You know?
think
I'm excited, but I have questions.
I think overall calling it Overwatch 2 is just confusing people.
Well, it's confusing me.
Yeah.
It's confusing. Well, it's not confusing. It's just I don't like it when people use traditional terms
Yeah, it's so
that
hipster.
mean one thing
In a non-traditional way.
in a non. Yeah, they're changing my vocabulary. Like I don't know why Fortnite is a beta. It's not a
You
beta.
know what's funny is when Chapter 2, total off topic here, when Chapter 2 launched, I was like, oh, I wonder if they have beta on the loading screen still. Yeah, they do.
They still have it
Yeah,
on the
I was like,
loading
hey,
screen?
wait a
Yeah,
minute. Yeah,
it's still beta.
how is it still in
even
beta?
after Chapter 2 and I don't know, $5 billion.
Maybe that's the official name of the game. Like beta. Just name your game beta, and you
But-
can always have it as beta.
Actually, Fortnite Chapter 2 is a perfect example. I think Overwatch 2 is exactly what Fortnite Chapter 2 is. They're just calling
the
it by
Overwatch
the
version?
sequel name
Yeah.
instead of what the other guys
Instead
did.
of what everyone else is doing, Season 2, Chapter
See,
2.
It's just confusing.
My question is, are they going to get rid of loot boxes?
I hope so.
think they've got to go Battle Pass at this point.
Everybody's doing it.
I understand Spicy's complaint of loot. I have zero motivation to open any loot box playing that game. It just doesn't matter to me. If you gave me a Battle Pass and you showed me what cool skins I could get and work towards, I would pay $10 to work towards them.
Yeah.
That's just it's the best way to do it. Loot box is foolish. Like at this point it's archaic.
Stupid.
Yeah,
Stupid.
it's a bad way. It's not a bad way.
No, it's bad. It is the worst way to monetize a game I paid for.
Yeah, it's just give me a battle pass. Be upfront with me. This is what you can earn with your battle pass. This is what you get bonus for your battle pass. You can earn back your battle pass if you play it enough, and I would be all there. And right now, for me, the freaking grind to get to comp, I would pay for it just for the bonus experience. Like, give me that option, but you don't even give me that option.
You want to know my favorite part about Blizzcon that I actually laughed to
Yeah.
Mark about because it's just the way they presented it was funny. So far, it's really good. I think there's been a lot of good announcements. Even the World of Warcraft stuff's getting me excited. But they go, all right, guys, we have Diablo 4, we have Overwatch 2, we got the new Warcraft expansion, and we still have StarCraft and Heroes. But then we have the new Hearthstone expansion. It was funny. They kind of just glossed over it and then went on to the...
You got to figure they're working on another StarCraft, right? Like it's always kind of in motion,
Well,
like long term.
I mean,
I
those
think
games
they
are
work-
still very popular. I just think their model is different.
I think they work on a lot of games, but if you're announcing Diablo 4 and you tell your audience it's not even Blizzard close.
Yeah.
That tells me that StarCraft is probably going to be around for my grandkids. You know, it doesn't seem like it's ever going to be in my lifetime.
No, that's a good point. Overall, Overwatch, excited for it, guys? Not excited?
no,
or
more
just
stuff.
confused?
No, more stuff. I
it's-
like
it's
the game
exciting.
of Overwatch. Yeah, it's very exciting.
I mean, Overwatch 2 sounds odd to me when
No, I
it's not
agree.
it's not
Basi-
but in their position, you're going to split your audience. Well, they are splitting their audience in a way, but you want to update the game, but at the same time, you created an esports scene, and a lot of money is dumped into that whole thing. It costs what, $50 million to start a new team. They have all the
Sponsor?
sponsors and all that stuff going on. You can't just make another game.
Yeah.
You know, so
Well, that's why I think it's kind of PvP is one side, PvE is the real new game.
Yeah.
And that's, I think, kind of how they're shifting. At least that's what it seems at this point. We could be wrong. We could be completely wrong because we're confused.
Well,
We
know what it is. It's just they're calling it something different.
Before we get to the news, we did get a question from Black Knight about BlizzCon. He says BlizzCon was today, and their intro was them apologizing for the recent event that happened with the famous streamer who got banned. What do you guys think about it? And what did you think of BlizzCon? I think overall, so far, we really like BlizzCon.
Oh, yeah.
As far as the apology, I mean, they did what they thought they had to do. I watched the apology. I didn't think they said what I would like them to say, but I'm not in charge of their company, and I mean, they're clearly concerned about their bottom dollar. That's it.
Can I say what you told me before the show when we were talking
go
about
ahead.
It sounded like they apologized for getting in trouble.
Yeah, like that's it. Like they apologized for not apologizing. It wasn't an actual apology. That's my thoughts on
I'm
it.
sorry that
I'm sorry that you guys didn't like what we did. Like that's basically what he said. So
And we're going to get it right.
We're gonna get it right.
We're gonna
The
get it
confusing
right.
part
We're
is they
gonna get
talk
it right.
about their company. This is the part that's confusing to me. Is he's like, and we just didn't stand behind our company values, and then then that's it. It's like,
And we're going to get it right.
so what are your company
No, they didn't
values
even say-
then,
they didn't
right?
even say
Like,
that.
so what are your company values? Like, are your values for people being free or not? Right? Like, you got to clarify it. But anyways, I mean,
And
Blizzard,
then they announced Overwatch 2.
and then
you're
they just jumped into Diablo, and I forgot all about it, so it didn't matter. But I mean, to be honest, that's really what happened. But I just
Honestly,
think,
I think that was the plan.
I just think their apology was fairly weak. Not even fairly weak. I think it was just weak. I don't think.
I'm sorry we got in trouble.
I'm sorry we got in trouble.
That's basically
Yeah. Anyways, I don't want to stay on that.
It's
I don't like that topic at all.
it's true. We like the games, not the other side of things, right?
But BlizzCon itself so far is going fantastic. Can I say one thing?
Yeah.
They are doing a level squish in the new Warcraft expansion. They're bringing everybody down to level 50.
Oh, yeah.
And you're going to level up to 60. in
You
the
like
new
that?
expansion.
You like that?
And
Because we're just astronomical.
Yeah, it's just getting out. We're level 120 now. It's just getting out of control.
when you can't even see the amount of damage you're doing because all the zeros go off the screen.
I know, yeah, you're like, really? When you have to like, I don't know, when you have to have a sentence just to announce the boss health. I mean, it's just 2 million billion fillion. You know, that's just.
I know.
But no, I just that's really cool. I'm actually
That is
excited
cool.
for that.
Now, BlizzCon is always a big time for tournaments. We got Overwatch tournaments. We got Hearthstone tournaments. The whole shot esports. Spicy, how's that going so far?
Sorry, I got distracted by someone posting a GIF in chat that's a big fat stomach.
Yeah,
But,
so that's a reason to come join us on Mixer, mixer.com/XoneBros. You can throw us off our game.
yeah, a lot of
Happens all the
people.
time,
a lot of
actually.
people try. Happens, and I'm looking at the chat. Like that's what I look at. What was your question?
The esports scene right now, BlizzCon, how's it going? Overwatch,
Oh,
Hearthstone, whatever.
yeah. So they're doing the World Cup with Overwatch. It's country versus country. I don't know what the standings are right now. I had to turn everything off that I was watching to
Well, that's
do this
okay.
show.
Just how do you think they're doing a good job? I mean, is it living up to your expectations?
I
Stuff like that?
actually, so I had two things I was watching. I had the Overwatch League I was watching, and I had the Hearthstone Championship, which are very two different vibes.
Oh yeah, completely different.
One is like you are amping yourself up, Overwatch, amping yourself up, hitting that, energy drink, and you're like, whoa, there's so much happening on the screen, popping your Adderall just
Yeah.
to focus on what's going on. The announcers are talking as fast as possible. Then you have Hearthstone.
elevator
which is
music.
like,
Cue the elevator music.
You got
now,
your
what
hot
he
shot.
can do in this turn is he can look at this thing and he could probably play this card. What do you think?
It looks like
It's like golf.
I mean, it really
like
looks.
golf
It is
announcing.
like golf.
Yeah.
We should do voiceovers on a Hearthstone thing. It looks like
Par 5 up to the nation's capital.
Mr. McSpicy. It looks like he's going to take a draw from his deck here. What kind of card should he be looking for?
Now, the
And
card
he did use the scry.
That is
did
correct.
use the
Use the
scry,
scry. I would probably use the card that does the best thing at this point in time.
Yeah, what card do you think that is
What-
exactly?
Do you
The
think he'll
debit
use
card.
his sideboard next
yeah,
round?
what?
I would think that he would use his debit card to buy more powerful cards for next time.
yes, this,
Do you think they even pay for their cards?
No. Well, yeah, but no.
someone pays for their cards along the line for them to practice? But at the tournament, everyone has access to whatever.
Yeah, yeah. Well, before in the old days, before Blizzard took control of their tournaments, this is really funny, by the way. So I believe it was a tournament out in Dallas, and it was a finals, and I can't remember who was playing, but they were using their own accounts, and on one, and you can, they show both sides, right, on the broadcast.
Yeah.
One person was typing to chat to him. The bubble that pops up while you're playing?
What the other person's cards were?
He wasn't saying what the cards
Oh,
were,
okay.
but he was in secret messages. He said like...
it was like a code?
It was some lore thing having to do with Leroy Jenkins. And so...
So the announcers are like, for whatever reason, Billy here
It was some
is
random-
having a conversation about Leroy Jenkins.
No, he wasn't... Even the announcers didn't catch it. It was that subtle of a hint.
That is hilarious.
And
Did he win? Did that guy win?
I don't. I think at that point the game was already lost.
Because if you cheat and lose, why cheat?
But see, he didn't do it. It was some guy in the audience that had the Blizzard app and chatting to him.
I see.
Whispering him, yeah.
That's hilarious.
And the game, to be honest, was probably already lost at that point, or
Yeah.
was already determined at that point. But it was actually, they changed a lot of things when that happened. Now people use neutral accounts, not their own accounts, to do.
Yeah, when you go to the tournaments, there's a
Yeah.
account 1, account 2. Right?
Yeah, because it was really funny because
Well,
it was
it's
so
probably-
subtle. No one caught
it's
it until
probably
like
off-
hours later.
it's
And they're
probably-
like, wait a minute. In the lore, Leroy Jenkins, it was something about a mother, and they connected the dots. Whoever was cheating
Had knowledge.
they knew what they were doing.
Had knowledge. Whoa, that blows my mind.
Yeah.
That's cool though. That's
Yeah.
a cool way to cheat. I hope to cheat one day like that.
Yeah.
No, you don't. Cheating's stupid in tournaments. Maybe in like
To get to the tournament, I mean, maybe.
then it's fine.
Anyways, Black Knight, thank you very much for the question. And that brings us to the next segment of our show. Boom, the news segment. Jordan, tell us what is happening in the world that is Xbox One this week.
So, first things first, it's November 1st.
It is November 1st.
And that means we have new games with gold.
Games with Gold, baby.
This month, we have, on the Xbox One side of things, we have Sherlock Holmes.
Sherlock Holmes.
Sherlock Homie.
Sherlock Holmes.
Sherlock Holmes.
Sherlock Holmes.
We got Sherlock Holmes, The Devil's Daughter,
Oh, okay.
which
I hear those are good games.
Yeah, no, I actually
I've
have
not
to.
played
I've
them,
never, yeah.
but I hear
so
they're good.
We also have, that'll be
They're
from
good short stories.
My wife
By
has
Sir
read,
Arthur Conan
Yeah,
Doyle?
my wife has read them all and is like, you should read them. They're crazy good.
They're great.
Yeah.
There you go, yeah.
I read
Then,
them.
Also, the one, sorry, the one classic to read, Dracula, I hear, is actually terrifying. Like legit.
Because there's a lot of words.
No, legit. Yeah, that too. No,
I mean,
but-
the book is huge.
No, but legit, like not a children's like TV shows and movies have never done it justice. Type of terrifying, like the ultimate vampire book.
The ultimate. Well,
of terror.
let's be honest.
Like,
the bar has been
yeah,
lowered
yes.
pretty far.
Well, no, but like
in
he's-
modern times,
he's the ultimate monster, and it really comes through in the book. Apparently, I've never read it myself.
Allegedly.
but allegedly,
Allegedly.
This is allegedly from my wife, Mrs. X1. So just yell at her if she's wrong. But
We also have. Well, sorry.
funny,
So
Loyal.
Sherlock Holmes, The Devil's Daughter, is on November 1st. Then we have The Final Station, which is on November 16th.
I don't know that one.
It's an Xbox One game, and it's
there
free
you
this
go.
week, so you
Yeah.
can get to, or not this week, this month, so you can get to know it.
Boom.
Then going back, way back
in time, OG
we got
Xbox.
the original Xbox backward compatibility. Star Wars Jedi Starfighter. That's gonna be that's also gonna be
Hey,
November 1st.
I really like that game.
Yeah, today.
Now this is pod racing.
Today it's ready to go. Yeah, there.
There's Samuel.
Wait, is this the?
That's it. Jedi Starfighter.
Oh wait. Yeah, I remember. I thought it was the pod racing.
What's
game.
funny is space games like.
But I remember this one.
you can still play that. Like space games still hold up because
No, yeah, it's just
polygons in space.
So you're just flying around.
Just flying around. That works.
polygons in space. Oh yeah, that makes sense.
So
Yeah.
that one is also today, November 1st, and then on the 360 backward compatibility on November 16th, Joyride Turbo.
Which looks very Mario Kart-ish with
Oh yeah,
hipper cars.
ready to go.
Hipper newer cars.
So, also, next in the news we have
All access.
Xbox All Access. Yeah, which is I think we talked about this a long time ago. But this is basically their payment plan for their consoles.
Yep.
Which
Yeah.
means if you don't have enough cash or don't want to pay enough cash, or I don't know what your situation is. But basically, instead of buying the console outright, you can do it over a course of so many months. And there's 3 consoles that they have. Each console has a different price tier. I actually have those price tiers if you'd like to know what they are.
It's basically a contract to buy your Xbox, much like you would with a phone. So instead of paying your full $1,000 for the iPhone, you split it up and it's $40 a month for 24 months. That's what you're doing with the Xbox.
Basically exactly
with an option to upgrade.
The phone
It
model.
actually works out to be cheaper as well. But
Because so there's 3 different tiers you can do. So you can get the Xbox One S all digital. That's $19.99 a month. But what's crazy about these, and all these come with this, just so you know, you get the console. But what's crazy is you get 24 months of Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, which includes Xbox Game Pass for PC, Xbox Game Pass, and Xbox Live.
And that is $15 a month by itself.
Yeah, exactly. So you're actually saving money in these scenarios.
Technically, you're only paying $5 a month for your Xbox One S digital up there.
Exactly.
$5 a month? I'm doing the math here. So 5 times 24. Well, that actually equals the same amount. Well, no, that's actually a really good deal.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Wait, why am I paying the other way if this is cheaper? Oh, because I got Ultimate for $1.
Yeah.
Yeah, because of the whole
For the
deal
next
they
10
did.
years, right?
Yeah,
Something like
3
that.
years.
Yeah, they
Because
cap
their
it.
whole special. So in 3 years, I'll reevaluate the
We'll
contract.
reevaluate and look at it.
So that's the lowest tier model. You then got the Xbox One S regular, which comes with the disc drive. That's $22.99 a month, so not much more. And then you got the big boy, the world's most powerful
boy.
console, the Xbox One X, for $30.99 a month. And this is where it gets interesting.
It does.
So if you get the Xbox One X console,
In 12 months.
and you pay it for, I think you have to pay for 12 months, right?
In 12
So,
months, if you've made all your payments, you can upgrade.
to the newest
the
Project
Scarlet.
Scarlet. Yeah. Now the upgrade.
You can do that with all of them, but the other 2 you have to wait 18 months.
Yeah, exactly. This one you only have to do 12.
Yep.
So it's more worth it for this one.
It's going the way of this contract's Xbox All Access. It's just a great way to give more options to more people. And what's clear about Microsoft's plan going forward with this, they just want people in their ecosystem.
Yeah.
It's their plan with Mixer. It's their plan with Game Pass. They want people in their ecosystem, and this is this is just another move in that direction.
Indicative.
And just so you know, that is all.
I almost said indigenous.
Just so you know, that is all 0% APR.
Oh, 0%.
They're very specific.
Buy
Oh,
it. It's
man.
not real money.
That's like free money.
No interest. It really is.
What I want to know, and this is just,
You do have to turn in your box when you upgrade.
well, yeah,
You don't
yeah,
get to
no,
keep
it. Yeah, the real box, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, no. What I want to know is what happens if you don't make your payment? Do the Microsoft police come after you, or?
They ding your credit just like anything else.
Well, because like with a phone, they just shut off your service entirely.
They put you into collections. I mean, that's true. I wonder if they put down.
They just shut down your Xbox Live, and you're like, oh shoot, I can't play tonight. I forgot to pay my bill.
They can brick your box.
Yeah, they
That's
just
actually
smoke just starts coming.
that's
out
actually a better solution than sending a guy out with tattoos to steal your stuff.
to take your car. He boots
Yeah.
your Xbox until you pay it.
Along with this,
I had that job once.
Oh yeah.
I was a leg breaker.
Yeah.
Back in this is a long time ago. I have stories. Oh, I wasn't the guy. I was like the mob boss. I was the guy that sent out for collections. Yeah, I have stories.
So I do want to talk
terrifying
more. One more
stories.
story that kind of ties in with Xbox All Access is that you can now stream from your console. That's out for preview members right now, Alpha Ring members in the preview program. So right now they have Project X Cloud came out and dropped
yes.
the beta of
Yep.
it.
Oh, yeah.
That's streaming from their servers. But as of today, if you're an alpha member, you can stream directly from your console. And you might ask, why stream from your console when I can stream in Project X Cloud? And I think because eventually it's going to be set up as a service, right?
Yeah.
You can pay for the Project X Cloud service, and it's probably, in my mind, going to be tied to Game Pass Ultimate. If you're part of Game Pass Ultimate, that's an option. You can only stream the games on Game Pass Ultimate directly to your phone or software device. Or if you have other games, or you don't want to, or you don't want to pay for that, you stream from your console to your device. That's my, because why else have it both ways? I think that's got to be the way that it goes, right?
Here's my question.
Yes.
So, and I don't know if you know or not. So right now on the preview for the xCloud, which is working really well. I'm enjoying it.
Okay.
I only have 4 games, right? And I
Yes.
understand we're in beta, all that stuff. There's going to be more games added. I'm not complaining about that.
Sure.
If you, for the alpha members that have this, when they stream from their console, do they have full access to their console library?
Yes, you have full access
See,
to
and
your
that's-
console library.
that I think
That's
is the
difference.
benefit. That's the benefit of
well,
having
that's
the
the benefit
console.
and the difference. So you're benefited more if you have. So another way, another incentive to buy the console.
Yeah, because I
basically.
think this-
But keep a streaming service, and this is what puts them above Google Stadia at this point. Google Stadia is going to have. It's a monumental task for Google Stadia to edge out a market. Sony's going to be coming out with a cloud service. I would imagine it's going to be modeled the same way that Xbox Project X Cloud
No,
is going to
it's
be
their
modeled,
servers.
right? That Google Stadia doesn't have the options and it doesn't have the games right now. Not that I don't think Google Stadia can get there. It can, but they've got to be all in and be just
I think
sinking
they
money
are.
in.
They're
into
getting
it.
some heavy hitters,
Yeah.
like Destiny.
But regardless, I like that is the way that they're doing their. This is, and granted, this is just me thinking this is the way they're doing, but just having the options for streaming.
What I want to know is, I think that's the benefit because Project X Cloud is going to be like, I think it's going to be similar to Game Pass, right? There's going to be hundreds of games on there, but maybe not all of them, right? So
Yep.
streaming from your box, let's say all the games I have on my box except The Witcher's not on there for whatever reason, right? Like I can still play that because I have it on my box, right?
Yeah.
So that would be my benefit and what I actually more look forward to.
I agree.
Having my full library.
Yeah, and if you're someone like Spicy who has God's internet connection
Hey.
And the new hard drive.
and the new hard drive,
Yay.
you're set.
yeah.
And that's
You
another
are.
question. Do you have to have the game installed on your box to play it? Is it literally streaming from your box or
I would assume it is
yeah.
because something has to be.
Running it, right?
Well, if it's because you have 2 ways, right? You have their version, which are all those servers. What was the name of their servers?
xCloud.
Azure.
Oh,
Azure
Azure.
servers.
Yeah.
The Azure servers.
Correct.
Okay. I think that it runs off of your box at home. Isn't that how we understood it?
Well,
It's
no,
actually running from your
actually
box.
running from your box.
So
yeah.
then you obviously need the game installed on your box.
Yeah,
Aren't you
do.
still going
Because something
to-
has to think how to make these polygons.
No, if it's
appear.
on your box, it has to be installed on your box. It's streaming from your box.
Because aren't you
not
still
from their
going?
servers.
Aren't you still going from your box to their servers, then to your device?
Not necessarily.
Yeah, I don't think that. I mean, I don't know if that's the pipeline they're choosing to do, but the game has to be somewhere. Like something has to be
Oh,
thinking.
man.
When I'm shooting those bullets, something is creating those
Maybe
bullets.
some guy puts a disc in every time.
It's the
you-
same concept.
Mark's playing. Hey guys, I gotta go. Mark's playing.
Well, like Death Star says, it's the same concept that exists now, where you stream to your PC or laptop on your own network. But now you're taking this
So you-
Outside
and
your
expanding
network.
it. Yeah.
You need it installed
on your box.
on your box. Whereas the Azure servers, they only need one version installed on their box, and then it goes to everybody.
So, given the 2 options, that's your 2 options. What I think I'm picking box.
Well, for us, I think box is probably better because we're going to be getting Project Scarlet and all the renditions anyway, right?
Yeah.
I think for someone like Jim the Stuff Guy,
Yeah.
the cloud
He looks
service
bored,
is
by the
more,
way.
Project X Cloud.
He looks
is
so
more
bored.
his version, right? Because he doesn't necessarily need to buy the box. He prefers just the mobile version of
Yeah.
it, right? So
Yeah.
I think
It's perfect for
yeah,
him.
perfect for him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically, it's perfect for everybody. You know,
And it's just
there's-
more
there's
options
for everybody.
More options for more people, and which is they just want people in their ecosystem, and that's super apparent that that's their strategy. And I think that's
exactly the
and I
face
think
that he
that's
was
that's the future going forward.
That was actually somebody just posted a GIF in chat.
Sorry to put you on the spot.
Yeah,
James.
that was showing his face, and it was the exact same face.
Battlefield 5.
Oh yeah, that's a game.
Talk dirty to
It's
me.
good. It's a good game. It's a good
Yeah.
That's a good game.
No, check this out. So, I've been playing a lot of Call of Duty Modern Warfare lately.
Oh,
right?
yes, you have.
And I do like the ground war. I think it does need some work. I like the concept of it. But I've had that itch to go back to Battle 5, and this week...
Battle 5.
Battle 5, yeah, sorry. Battlefield
Battle
5.
5 Galactica.
Yeah, Battlefield 5 launched the Pacific maps and game modes this week, and let me tell you how awesome they are. They're probably the best maps in the game, in my opinion.
Really? It's that good?
They're so good. They also released the M1 Grand rifle, which is legit. They released flamethrowers. They released tanks with flamethrowers. They released
And you jumped in and played
angry. Oh yeah, they released angry people with swords, American or Japanese, whoever picks it up first, and they're just running around slicing you. It's so good, and it made me realize, as much as I do like ground war in Call of Duty, even though I do think there's a lot of changes that need to be made in it, Battlefield is just king at what they do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the Battlefield.
What-
It is so good.
What makes it superior to ground war at this point?
That
You want to go down the list?
Yeah, that it works.
Hey, that's a big one. Because
Sorry,
when,
we can
when
lead
it
up
doesn't
to-
work and there's a tank up on the mountain the whole game, just killing everybody.
Well, but you can do that in Battlefield.
Not like this. This is not intentional.
Well, in Battlefield, there's more ways to counter that tank, right? No,
There is literally a tank on the mountain in every map I've played that just sits there. I don't know how they get up there. They're not supposed to be able to
So
get
last
up there.
week I was talking up how Ground War was my favorite mode, and then I played more this week, and you kind of get into it a little bit more. Anyway, I do like Ground War. I think it's a cool concept. I think it's fun. I like the big team battle stuff.
Sure.
The problem I think Ground War has in Modern Warfare is they treat Ground War like every other mode, which is wrong.
Oh,
in my
I agree.
You were saying this. It's focused on KD.
Well, no, it's just there's no changes. The only difference between Ground War and just regular 10-man domination is 50 players.
And tanks.
And tanks, yeah. The problem that Ground War has, and you guys can disagree with me if
I
you
agree.
want,
I already know what you're going to say. I agree.
is I think kill streaks should be disabled in Ground War.
Exactly. Disable kill streaks in that game. Make it a perk streak like the other ones.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah.
You replace, because you can have that ability in the game where you change all your kill streaks with perks. Put that in the game, and then there's not all hell going loose with thousands of people playing.
Yeah, well, and I'm not even necessarily talking about like UAVs, right? Because people want radar. It's not even that stuff. It's just there's so many attack helicopters. There's so many airstrikes. There's just so much going on that you're dying.
And Battlefield, even though it's a big map. I mean, it's a big game. Lots of players.
Well, Battlefield has bigger maps.
It's less. You're dying less.
Well, there's
right?
more
You're
of
able,
a-
You're able to tell.
balanced.
You're able
Yeah,
to tell
there's
what
more
the
of a-
direction is,
there's
what the
more of
objective
a-
is,
I don't know,
and work
finesse to
together.
it. So, and then in Ground War as well, like for example, I was telling this to Mark. There's this one map where basically everybody essentially camps in this building, and it's if the other team gets it, it's really hard to take back because you just walk through the door and die. There's claymores everywhere. It's ridiculous. In Battlefield, if that happens, the counter to it is you blow up that building.
Yeah, yeah.
And then there's you don't have to worry about it anymore, right? So having the
You
static,
shoot the other guy.
yeah, having the or at least the way the maps are designed now, like that static map design, I don't think really works.
Do you think it's a player based issue where where when Battlefield players know what to do in Battlefield, that's the game mode for Battlefield?
There's people
No,
that don't.
there's
too.
people that know what to do. Like I feel like I do good in Ground War because I've kind of gotten the hang of how you need to play it and stuff like that. These are suggestions I think these are changes that I think would improve it in my opinion.
Okay.
Right, getting rid of kill streaks.
I would say balance that specific game mode
Sure.
for what it is.
Okay.
The other thing, and people can correct me if I'm wrong, I haven't tried to take out tanks super a ton, but I feel like I've done it enough. I think they're too strong, and you can say, well, they're a tank. I understand that they're a tank, but at a certain point, they got to blow up after all my missiles. Hit them. Like, you know what I mean? Like there's just I feel like they're a little too strong. Also, being said, like Mark said, I think they need to do what Black Ops did last year with Blackout. It's a separate mode, and that's what this needs to be.
It needs to be balanced
It needs to
for
be a
that mode.
completely separate mode. Maybe not completely separate mode, but it just needs to have different balance than your regular modes, because in my opinion, they're treating this mode just like they are any other mode they have, and I think that's what hurts.
That's
this
what's
mode,
hurting
yeah.
it. While it might help the other modes, it hurts this mode because it's ultimately a different game mode.
Yeah, exactly, right, and that's why going back to Battlefield, getting back to the news story, was super fun. It was really refreshing playing on the big teams, and those maps are amazing. And by the way, the map we were talking about last week was Wake Island.
Yeah.
and that one is coming, which is really
Oh,
exciting. But
okay,
no,
I'm downloading
this
this
game
again.
is fantastic. I love the way they do their battle pass. It's free. You don't have to pay for it or anything like that. You can pay to buy levels, just like in any other. At least I didn't have to pay for it. I don't know if I bought like the super duper edition or
You
not,
probably
but
did.
I don't know. Yeah,
Let's
probably.
be honest.
But anyway, what you do, they basically do it like Fortnite. It's just laid out a little bit differently. Basically they have the Tides of War, and during the Tides of War they have a fancy map with all these little road things and basically a bunch of objectives. So like objective 1, complete a match. You complete a match, you get 1,000 battle pass XP, or they call it like B. Anyway. And then you get 1,000 XP. You unlock, rank 1 and 2, which give you skins and stuff like that. You go do basically you do each objectives each week. those give you experience for the battle pass. It unlocks, you get cool new stuff, skins, cosmetics, all that fun stuff. No, this is, I think, Battlefield 5 right now is in its best state. Playing these maps, they're fantastic, and the M1 Grand is legit. I tear
And
people up.
I would argue that this is really good for them to come out at this specific time, because Modern Warfare is having a heyday with issues, and they're still trying to fix them. And when you have, I mean, I would argue that Battlefield maps at this point destroy Modern Warfare maps.
Okay.
I
Just in ground mode or overall?
I think there's one map I like
Okay.
in Modern Warfare.
Yeah, I'm kind of. I think I have like 3.
Okay.
Yeah, but anyway, I'm split 50-50.
I actually
yeah.
I went and looked up all the maps, and I was just like, how many do they have? I feel like I'm playing the same one over and over and over.
Yeah, you do. And they're always the ones I don't like.
They have night versions of maps. So I think they added night versions of map to inflate.
Yeah, like
How many
maps?
they
It's the same
actually
map,
have.
It's just at night.
Yeah, for the realism
And-
mode.
Yeah, I really think, I mean, Modern Warfare, let me get this straight. I really like the game. I like it so much that I'm trying to put up with the crashes. And we're not talking about the game just crashing. We're talking about...
It shuts down his house. It shuts down his house, literally.
my internet. I had it crash one time to where my printer did a power cycle. I don't know how a game can do that.
Have you had it crash since?
Hacking you.
I'm not even kidding. I crashed a game and then my printer starts doing a power cycle.
That's hilarious.
Did the latest? Have you had it crash since Tuesday?
I have not put it on my Scorpio.
The Scorpio. Okay, yeah.
I have.
So yeah, let's clarify this.
Since Tuesday, I've been okay.
The crashing issue is specific to the Xbox One X.
Well, it's
Mostly. Oh, so it
yes,
does have
Mostly.
they have.
So have it
they have
crashed on
had
your
it,
regular
They
box?
have had it on PS4, PC, and stuff like that
Yeah,
as
yeah.
well. So,
No, but what I'm saying on the Xbox titles, it's specifically to the Xbox One X.
well,
The
that's
crashing
where
issue.
it's happening.
And PC's having a lot of.
90s.
They're still having a lot of crashes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean,
And PlayStation.
But I mean, that's why you're.
so it's
what I'm trying to.
mostly specific.
What I'm trying to explain to people listening, the reason Spicy is playing on his regular Xbox is because the regular Xbox One
can actually last an hour.
does not have the crashing issues that
Because-
the Xbox
Oh.
One X has.
Oh, hey, whoops.
You got really
Hey, no, check
excited.
this out. Miss Mark is an elitist now.
Oh.
This was so funny. We're there playing, and Mark was like, "That's it. This thing shut down my whole house. I'll be right back. I'm going downstairs to my regular Xbox, and I'll play it with you." He hops back on, and do you want to know what the first thing he said was? This game looks like crap.
It's true.
What am I in 1080p?
Here's the thing where we can call ourselves out.
know.
Remember, remember at the beginning of this live suck, and we're like, it doesn't matter.
I am,
It
yeah.
doesn't matter. But now that we've been on like
Yeah.
4K HDR frame rates,
Yeah.
you go back and it's like. I now understand.
It
the
looks like
I
garbage.
I understand the PC Master Race, guys.
I completely admit it. I didn't care before. Now I do.
Now that
but
you've
that was
had
so
it-
funny. This game looks like crap.
when
Looks
you're homeless,
terrible.
when you're homeless, you don't care to live in a mansion. It doesn't matter to you if it's a house or a mansion. But
that
once
would-
you get the mansion lifestyle, you want the mansion lifestyle.
But see, the game. What I have issue with, the game is so good. It is a good game.
No, it's really enjoyable.
They did. I'm addicted to completing challenges. Oh, this is another thing that pisses me off, by the way. I'm addicted to completing challenges, and they have so many to do. And you have to activate certain ones, so you have to focus on certain challenges. Well, half of them don't even clock.
Yeah, they're not clocking for you. They're not even tracking for you.
I read that they are tracking. It's just the animation graphic
Oh,
is
okay.
not
For
showing.
the dailies, you have to cancel the game.
But still,
and reload it.
that's scary. It's putting trust in
Some of
in the
those
system.
are
It's
it's having
hard.
faith. That's putting faith. No,
And the snipers in this game are so nerfed so hard. You can like I like Battlefield because the sniping's fun.
yeah.
This one, whenever you just look at your weapon, you turn on
Oh.
this
Oh,
the
yeah.
biggest
You know-
Well, but when they,
spotlight in
no,
the world.
but when
Do
they
you know
do
that-
shoot you, though, it's like that one when I was playing Ground War. I was getting sniped all over the place. Just run out, boom, because people on the roof.
What you don't know is he's died 3 times before
okay.
you
No,
actually
just so
got
you know.
that shot.
Do you know that
makes you
headlamp?
feel better.
Do you know the headlamp they have the fun?
Oh, it's bright.
on the front of
It's
trains.
bright.
Like that's what they. Yeah, it's. That's another thing.
Look, here I am, everybody.
No, that's another thing I think
I'm
needs
like
to
out
be.
sniping people with my 725. I think that's what it's called, shotgun.
because there's no glare.
There's no,
I think-
No glare on that.
No, I-
seriously, just what you do is get the ammo pack upgrade or whatever the tactical thing. You know how you can reload yourself.
Turns into
Yeah.
slugs.
Just sit there with an LMG and snipe with that. It has hardly any recoil. and no one can see where you're shooting from. Just hop on that mountain, and then just wait for all the spotlights to appear where everyone's using snipers.
Can I say? Have you guys? How far are you guys in the campaign?
I think I'm almost done with it. The way it's wrapping up.
Okay.
I'm having the same issue as I did with Gears. Is I load up the game and it says multiplayer. And I'm like,
and
I forget.
and
I
you jump into
I'm going to
multiplayer.
play campaign,
You get
and I'm
sucked
like,
in.
wait a minute. If I don't play multiplayer, I don't progress in multiplayer.
It is.
Phenomenal.
I think it's at this point. I'm 8 levels in, and non-stop, intense enjoyment. I am lost in this game more than any. Doom is my favorite first-person shooter. Wolfenstein's a close second. I think this might pass both of them as a campaign.
I think it's just your new toy. Those are
No.
go back and play those.
No, it's
good.
I'm
It's
telling
really
you, as
good.
a story campaign, because I'm taking into account the story. When it's all wrapped up, I'll be able to say.
Yeah.
But the story, because Doom is the smooth 60
And
first person
play
shooter.
Doom again.
It's completely different.
Play
Doom. Granted, Doom's a completely different
Play
game.
Wolfenstein again.
Wolfenstein, it's definitely. I think it's superior to Wolfenstein. Because Wolfenstein, what I loved in Wolfenstein wasn't necessarily the gunplay. That was the story. The story is so good. This story, Jordan
It's really good.
Jordan, how is it for you?
It's really good. I actually took time out of my day to tweet Infinity Ward to let them know how good the story was.
It
I said, you know
blows
what?
me
They
away.
deserve to know that I'm enjoying
Like,
it.
I
You know,
did
the
not
idea
think
with,
I would
yeah.
enjoy, because of the bar that Wolfenstein Doom sets for me. And granted, they're kind of in a different genre. It's not technically the same, but they're both shooter stories, single campaign shooter stories. And this story, again, if you don't like Call of Duty, just get it for the campaign because, wow.
Yeah.
It's the
Yeah, really
entire time, at least on an initial playthrough, is just so intense and so serious. And the way their level design, the way they're able to convey chaos and the feeling, it's like I stopped for a break while I was playing this game and my body just like relaxed. Like it has you, and you're like, whoa, I didn't realize how intense this was. Like, it's so intense.
You might want to go see a doctor.
No, it puts you. That's what the game. It puts you
It's
in.
tense.
I was excited for more than 4 hours.
It immerses you. It immerses
so
you.
you might want to
in
get
there.
that checked out, man.
It's insane. It's insane.
If you're excited for longer than 4 hours, I've seen commercials.
Yeah.
That means you gotta
see
see
a
a
doctor.
physician.
No, it's really good. I think it's one of the.
I heard you laugh.
I think it's one of the best single player first person shooter stories so far. It's
Yes,
excellent.
so far. I'm not
Excellent.
finished with it, granted.
Yeah.
When I finish, I'll be able to say, but it is very good. Spicy, when you play, well, you've played a couple levels,
Yeah.
but even those levels like blow you away. But then as you get into it more, every level there's no lull yet. I'm waiting for like, okay, when is this going to get repetitive or boring?
They Michael Bayed it.
That's what I mean. All Call of Duty games do for that really well.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just, but they Michael Bayed it without Michael Baying it, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, it does.
it's good. It's really good.
No, it's really fun. I like it a lot. I like Modern Warfare. I've been having a ton of fun
Sphincter
with it.
unlocks, yes.
Yeah.
Matt T. Raves exactly. When I'm done, I didn't realize how tight my sphincter was. It releases when you're done. That's the sign of a good game, of immersive gameplay.
Or a medical issue that you should consult
Right?
your physician.
Yeah. It's one of two things are wrong. You either taking too much Viagra or you're really enjoying Call of Duty.
Yeah. No, I think Modern Warfare is excellent. I think there's a lot of balance changes and stuff they need to make, but so far it's fun. Still enjoying it.
Multiplayer-wise,
Anyway, Battlefield 5, the Pacific is out, the new weapons are out, the new maps are out. It's a free update, as far as I know, but it's a free update. I didn't have to buy it. Check it out. It's
Battlefield
good.
5, yeah.
Oh yeah, it's really good. So and then before we jump into the last news story,
That was
there
a question, by the way.
Oh, there we go. So let's go to that question real quick.
Okay.
Shane asks,
we answered it,
Will you
but-
read that?
Yeah, Shane3885 says, "How is the COD storyline? Is it as intense as everyone says?"
So far,
when
yes.
you finish, your sphincter unlocks.
Yeah, I believe actually every
Play
time
on
you,
the toilet.
every time you load up the game, there's in small fine print it says, if you have an erection lasting than 4 hours after playing this game, please consult your physician.
Yeah.
That's exactly.
And after you're done,
because-
woo!
It's
because
right
I-
where they usually have the seizure warning.
I get sleepy.
Yeah, I finish and I realize. Yep, 4 hour
I just wanna-
erection.
I just wanna
That
take a
was-
nap.
That was a 4 hour erection right there, and it was Call of Duty. Doc, I was playing Call of Duty.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. We've been seeing a lot of these lately.
Viper wants to know how many hours the campaign is. I think it's anywhere, depending on how you play it, anywhere between 5 to 10, 6 to 10 maybe, something like that. So it's not super long, but it's enough to have to go see a physician if you need to.
It is.
So, but no, it's really good.
It's why
All of
It's not super long, but it's long enough.
That's why I slept like a baby last night.
honestly, this Call of Duty is what has gotten me back addicted to Call of Duty. Like
It
I was
really
telling
has.
Mark, I was like, Mark, I want to hit the 75. You know, I gotta hit the rank. That's my goal, right? So it's super fun. But anyway, before we get to the last news story, there was 2 I forgot to put in, and I apologize to James because we don't have the trailer for it. So it's
he
I
can
completely forgot,
watch.
so.
You tell him
But,
what it is.
uh,
He'll
He's
pull
on
it
the
up.
fly. The man is talented.
He can type on a keyboard and
Numero-
move a
He can
mouse.
find
Push buttons.
anything,
Yeah,
anything
he
you
can do
want.
One
What's the story?
one super cool news story that I completely forgot about is a new Witcher trailer
Oh.
for the Netflix series
Oh, that's
dropped
right.
this week, and
right.
oh, does it look dirty!
The launch date, December 20th. Happy
Speaking-
birthday to Spicy. Happy birthday, Spicy.
Speaking of having to see your doctor after 4
After
hours of
4 hours.
excitement,
Yeah,
This
that
Netflix
one.
one?
Yeah, that one.
the new Witcher trailer looks legit. I'm really excited for it. Henry Cavill, who'd have thought?
believe it's
Could play
Cavill.
good. I mean, look at that butt shot.
That is
That's
Geralt.
Geralt, you
That
know.
is Geralt's butt.
For those of you that are listening, we're watching the trailer live.
Yeah.
No, that's a Geralt butt.
Now that's Geralt.
in action.
It just looks really good. I don't.
Oh, did you see him use his
Oh, yeah.
force
Ability.
ability? Oh yeah,
I'm really excited. So I'm reading
that
through
was
the books.
awesome.
Yeah, he did
I'm
the-
reading through the books, so I'm really excited to have read them and then see how it holds up here.
Do you want me to turn the sound on?
That's
No, that just went awkward.
Wow, you guys are
I'm
really
really
No, and actually, we might.
I'm really
that's an
excited
HBO.
right now.
That's an HBO scene.
And
That
just
was
so
an
you know,
HBO
we
scene.
might not be able to show the whole thing because it
Should
is
I stop
Netflix.
it?
Yeah, look.
Just pause it right there where he looks cool.
Oh, did we let anything slip through?
It looked like there was some
something
some
going
Yeah,
mixed
no,
in
there
the
was
background.
There was definitely in
a
the
fight
in the foreground.
You remember
let's,
that? You remember that mission in
oh,
Witcher
dearie.
3 where you fight in the bathhouse?
Yes.
Kind of similar to what happened.
All right. Right.
They Game of Thrones it right there, where they're just having a conversation,
What is
but
that trailer?
behind,
Are they allowed to do that?
but behind them,
Well, you only saw silhouettes. There was no actual physical.
I saw skin.
Well, there was skin, but it was side skin.
it was art.
It was
It was
art. It was more
out of
artistic.
focus. That's all it
I
is,
saw
right?
side nip.
No, you didn't. Maybe you did. I don't know. It is Netflix. So
They Game of Thrones it though.
That gift.
Someone in chat dropped a Bill Cosby gif.
Oh my gosh.
anyway,
That's hilarious.
anyway, the other news story that I forgot to add. There's no trailer for this, so don't worry about it. But a lot of games here in America,
These are good.
and I'm ignorant, so I don't know if people celebrate this in other countries. But it's Halloween
It is Halloween.
this year in America.
That is like, yeah. That's a Geralt gift. I shouldn't mention the gifts because no one else can see them that's listening to
Yeah.
the show.
Halloween this week, there is a ton of games doing Halloween events. You got Apex, which, by the way, looks really cool. Have you been playing it this week?
I've not played. Well, I played it like once or twice. I've been playing Apex, but not the
No, Halloween.
event.
Yeah, the skins look cool, man. The skin looks
Yeah,
cool.
yeah,
You
they're
got
okay.
Fort Nightmares, who always does good on their skins.
Yeah.
Ark has a Halloween event, which is going on. Tons of games. That's just the 3 of them, but there's tons of games going on with their Halloween events.
Now we're going
all
to be moving
weekend
into
long.
winter events.
Ooh, harvest
Since-
events maybe
Yeah,
for the
harvest.
Thanksgiving
events,
season.
yes.
And then probably one of my favorite news stories of the week because this is just one good-looking piece of hardware. At XO19 this year, which is the Xbox big fan fest thing, it's in London this year. They have a sweet exclusive controller that you only get when you go to XO19, and it looks dirty.
Oh, that's it right
Yeah,
there.
that's it right there.
That
I think
is
it looks
cool.
super cool.
That
I
is
think it
cool.
looks really cool. So the new piece of hardware, I'm jealous of everybody that's going. I mean, it just screams, play me.
That's yes, it does. Yes,
But
it
anyway,
does.
That reminds me of like the 360 like style.
Yeah, it is
The
cool.
white, green, and gray.
Yeah.
You know, you remember the Xbox
Yeah.
360? Do you guys remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah, it went like, ooh.
Yeah.
It had curves.
I played that
It
one.
was a curvy lady.
Speaking
I
of
played that game
controllers,
system.
what are we? 2 weeks away? 14 days
November
away?
4th,
Elite 2.
right? Is it
From
November
the Elite 2 controller,
Is it-
November 15th.
15th? Oh,
Do you know
man.
what that's just in time for?
November 15th.
What is
Star Wars.
Oh,
Play the new Star Wars
we
game
are
with
in the
Elite
Star
controller,
Wars
yeah.
month. Dang.
You're right. That just
I
changed
believe
my-
it's
that's just-
November 14th.
I got to make some calls. That's just changed my month.
Yeah, you've got to schedule that
Oh,
out,
whoops.
man. You've got to schedule that out. Make sure you got those days off. That does us for the news. Let's bring us into the next segment of the show. Our last segment. this is where we take your questions. We've already went through
We've actually already
almost
answered.
There's
most
only
of them.
one question left, really.
right.
To submit a question, though, you can do so each and every single week over at Patreon, patreon.com/positive gaming. It's a great way to support the show. Come and subscribe to us there and submit a question. Also, if you are a producer and a producer credit, next week we will have more new producer credits. If you'd like one, if you're a new producer, just DM Mr. McSpicy over on Discord and let him know if you want to change your producer credit or if you're a new producer.
Yeah.
Or just say
Generally, if you don't message me and you're a new producer, I look you up on Xbox Live and I go through your
personals.
personal history of your gaming
like
achievements. And then I'll go like, oh, he likes Dark Souls. Let's
Boom.
give him a Dark Souls,
Yeah.
It's like
themed
a
one.
digital panty raid.
A digital panty raid.
I don't even know. I don't-
Yeah.
Okay. If you can keep this family friendly, I would
no,
like
sorry,
to
no,
know
no,
what
no, that's
the
like
hell did you just? No,
You guys have never-
the way you looked at me and
what-
told me
No,
that.
it's like what it is. It's
I
like
feel
you're
uncomfortable.
going into his personals and just checking all his stuff. So you've never.
I've never heard that either, no.
Wow,
Okay.
you guys
the
gotta
way
watch.
you looked at me, I think I got to take this up with HR.
Do you have friends other than us?
No, yeah.
Panty
No.
raid.
Have you never heard of that term? It's a thing.
We don't watch porn.
No, that's like what it is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Or apparently we're like, yeah, we just Jordan, you got some issues, man.
Have you ever heard of rape?
That's what you're doing.
what
dude.
you're basically doing.
Oh my gosh! The way you addressed me with your eyes, I felt uncomfortable.
With a creepy man smirk.
So hey,
It's like
digital
Digital.
penny raid. You know what I'm saying?
Have you guys
Hey!
really never heard that term? Wow.
I've really never heard that term.
I've never heard
It's
that
when
term.
you
Sorry.
go through someone's underwear drawer.
digitally.
Yeah, but it's like it's like
I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
Yeah, like
Your
on Google-
analogy makes
you
sense
do it
now
on-
that it's
yeah.
explained to me.
Yeah.
On Google Maps or something.
what?
Digitally. Like
No,
how do you actually?
It's like I think they talk about it in Back to the Future. Have you guys never seen Back to the Future?
They do not talk about it in Back to the Future.
I
not the Back to the Future we've seen.
I don't know. Anyway,
Again,
it's
if your Back to the Future has a Pornhub.com in front of it, you're watching a different Back to the Future.
no, maybe
All right.
I don't know. Maybe it's not. I
I
just
think it's in the movies in the 80s.
thank you. Yeah, it's in a
It's
lot of
not
things.
in-
It's like
not
a
in
yeah.
It's not in Back to the Future,
James,
though.
let us make fun of him.
I know.
It's in a lot
You
of
have
movies.
an ally.
Thank you, James.
Nerds versus
Yeah.
what is it?
Bear Back to the Future. That's, we're not watching that one. That's a different one. Door to the Future. Oh my goodness.
Oh my gosh! I think we just
Okay, get into our questions.
unlocked a lot of fan fiction here.
Yeah. Well, anyways, thank you very much to all of our Patreon supporters. We really appreciate it. We love you guys. Barbara Blake writes in.
We digitally love you.
Barbara Blake writes in and asks, this is our last question because we went through the other couple questions. What mainstream game do each of you getting tired of hearing / talking about? I'll go first, then Jordan, and then Spicy. I was trying to think. We were talking about it before the show.
What mainstream game do you get tired of hearing about?
Hearing about, yeah. And I honestly was trying to think. I don't think there's any game that I get tired of hearing about. Hearing about. I don't like if I'm not a fan, for instance, of I don't know, pick a game. Look, Fortnite. Remember, now I am. Fortnite, they've really done a good job. I think it's fun again. But before that, Fortnite. But I didn't get. I do. For instance, I do Gamer Daily News, and Fortnite always has a big news story coming out, and I don't get tired of hearing about it. I just don't like that game, but I don't get tired. I honestly, no game that people talk about bothers me.
Because you like games.
Because I just like games, and I don't care if you like a game that I don't like. It doesn't matter to me. And not that sounds. Now I feel like I'm sounding like
Snobby.
no,
Douche.
preachy, maybe, or like holier than
A
that.
dick.
And I don't
Yeah.
mean it. I don't mean it like that.
Loser.
But I honestly was trying to rack my brain, and there's not a game that I get tired of hearing about. Jordan, you were mentioning indie games. You sometimes get tired of.
Oh, but that's for a different reason.
Oh,
But anyway.
Wait, do you get tired of hearing about them?
Well, no, it's just I don't want to. Okay, so sometimes when indie games come out, they're trying to make a statement,
Yeah.
and it really bothers me because half the time their statements are stupid, and the other half the time it's just like I want to play the game not so I have to hear about how the world sucks. You
yeah,
know
but
what
that's
I mean?
very, but that's very few indie games, I think. But
Yeah,
unfortunately,
those are-
sometimes press gives them more, maybe.
Yeah, certain
more than
websites over others.
They're going bankrupt anyway.
Yeah, that's good. Well, it's not good, but it's better.
It's
You know.
the market adjusting.
Yeah. Anyway, no, one game actually funny enough that I used to get tired of every year was Call of Duty. Because it'd always be compared to Battlefield, and I really like Battlefield.
Yeah.
And in previous years, not this year, in previous years, I would always be like, oh my gosh, it's a $60 map pack. It's not better than the new Battlefield.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Stuff like that. But this year, they've completely changed my mind.
This year, and I think that's the reason it's getting talked about so much is because it's a completely new game.
I'm on the COD hype train. Play it every
As
night.
am I,
Yeah.
brother. As am I.
Call of Duty.
Call of Duty.
Yes, I am too.
Us in the industry, we call it COD.
Oh, yeah.
Spicy, is there any game that you get tired, mainstream game that you get tired of hearing?
No, I think I
No,
would.
Telltale went out of business, remember? So.
Well, but see, even then, so I'm a guy like I don't like sports games.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I hate sports.
Well, here's
games.
the thing. He'll still watch me play a sports game.
I do.
Do you get enjoyment out of it though? Like, do you understand what's happening?
Yeah, especially when you look at the camera.
You do make good comments, though.
When you
You
make
do
eye
make
con-
good comments. Sometimes
when
you
you
make
make
me-
eye contact with me.
Sometimes you make me laugh.
No, I just if other people enjoy it, I'm okay with. I'm totally okay with that.
Yeah.
That's why even though like if you watch, people notice I totally zone out when you're talking about Madden.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll wait till they're done. But no, there's not really any games.
Speaking of
like mainstream, like big titles. No,
and I think it's a kind of a difficult question for us because we're trying to play and learn as much as we can about every single mainstream game so that we can talk with
About it,
a
yeah.
little bit of authority on it, right? Like, so we're not just an average gamer gaming it. Like we're trying to play all of the games.
For as long as we can.
not me. I'm just playing the ones I like. Just kidding. No, yeah, I really do. I really like Call of Duty right now. I love that game, and the campaign's fantastic.
Yeah.
And I still have to play the campaign. The problem is, I pull it up and it's multiplayer. It catches my eye, but
Yeah. Good question. Thank you very much for writing in, Barbara Blake. Can I talk about Madden real quick since you brought it up?
yeah. You know what? Let me tune out right now.
Let's just, so Madden 20. I'm really taking. I have this rule. You have one game you could care about, right?
Yeah.
Madden is that game for me right now. I've been watching the top. So there's a guy. Even Spicy was impressed. The top guy in Madden is on a 30. At least last we checked, 30 game win streak.
Wow.
In that game, especially in that game, that just doesn't happen.
Yeah, you got to be good.
Like really good. So I've been watching him play. I've been watching people play it. So I've taken my game to the next level. I made it to the 16 percentile. So I'm top 16% now. I'm trying to get to the 10 and then I'll evaluate where I'm at. But I'm starting to play some next level guys and I'm making adjustments, but they've made the adjustments too. It's great. I'm playing guys that will never throw the ball. They only run. And they went, like, when you get to top levels, you're good enough at your one thing that can take you to the top level, right? Mm-hmm. So it's crazy. But I'm enjoying it. It's I think of Spicy all the time as I'm playing because I'm like, this is how he felt.
I wonder
trying
what
to-
Spicy's doing right now.
No, I'm like, this is how he felt going through Overwatch. Because sometimes you have...
Oh,
because in Madden...
it's all about improvement.
It's
all
improvement.
about personal improvement and getting better.
Yeah, so for instance, there was a game this week where I made that jump. I made it into the 16 percentile, and I got matched up against this guy that I couldn't stop his offense. He just crushed me. But I didn't... Normally in Madden, you just quit. You play the next game. No, I was like, okay, I got to learn how to defend this. By the third quarter, I was mounting a comeback, right? I had figured out he wasn't able to score on me anymore. I scored 2 touchdowns. Unfortunately, he was up by like 3.5 touchdowns. But I learned from that, and I thought, oh, this is how you do it. But it's also intense.
Yeah.
This doesn't happen in Overwatch. Like I'm sure it's different. Something different happens. You get a bad teammate or something because it's more team based. But in Madden, it's lag. Lag frustrates me like nobody's business.
Skipping. Yeah. Because in that game, yeah.
Well,
It's
it does
almost-
it to
it's
you on a
almost-
free kick or
I've seen it.
extra point.
I've seen it happen to you. It's almost like its own version of rubber banding.
It is.
It likes the screen
It
frame
fast forwards
holds for a second or a second and a half, and then it goes back to where it was.
It fast forwards everything, yeah. And
Yeah.
you lose control of your players. You lose control of the kick, whatever you're doing. That's frustrating. So I understand the spicy walk.
Yeah. So let me ask you this, because I like strategic games a lot.
Yeah.
I love strategic games, and you are now playing Madden in a very strategic way,
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
which I think is how it should have been played probably all along.
I mean, that's how it's always played. But when you get into the upper levels, that's how you're really playing it. It's move, counter move.
I respect that a lot, and as a guy that enjoys that, my problem is I don't understand that game or the game in general. I love watching football,
Sure.
Actual real life football, and I understand it to a certain degree, but I don't think I can ever actually get into that game because I just don't understand the little details, and I don't know if I could ever fully understand that.
I think you can. It's the same concept as an Overwatch. So in an Overwatch, except for your team is selected every play. So all you're doing is a move counter move. Is, for instance, if a guy comes out with 4 wide receivers, there's different formations that you would counter. Wide receivers are quicker, right? They're faster. So you don't want linebackers are usually bigger guys that are slower. So you want your fast corners up. So that's a dime package who has 4 corners.
That's so much knowledge for me. It's hard to grasp. And when you go through the menu system, all I see is lots of X's and zeros and lines going everywhere.
And so that's all I'm doing every time. You wait, you see what he's doing, right? What his package is. You're looking at his package.
Hey.
And then you just and then
Let
you
my
just
sphincter
you see
release.
he's doing like one running, if he's doing like 2 running backs and two tight ends, that's probably a run play. So you're going to want bigger guys in for that.
Okay.
So you go to a formation that has bigger guys. But then when you're in, and this is where the top players are at, and this is what I'm just learning right now, you're taking over the players now that you brought up, and you're adjusting them on the fly. And that is before I could handle the initial play-by-play, boom, and then I could play one guy manually. But now I'm getting to the point, and this is what you got to do to take it next level, and what next level guys do, where I'm now adjusting and handling 3 or 4 guys on defense, especially at once. Offense is not an issue. Offense, it's just audibles and playing it correctly. But
when I approach a game like a strategic game, like a StarCraft, or let's take an Overwatch and a character that I haven't played originally, that I want to start learning, I will go on Reddit and I will look up, basic strategies. I will go to YouTube, look up basic guides, and then I will move up into more advanced guides and more positioning guides, and all that stuff. But with a game like that, I feel like it's assumed that I should know a whole bunch of stuff.
No, absolutely
when
not.
I don't.
No,
that's how I
absolutely not. And they actually implemented. So in previous Maddens, I would say like 6 years ago, that was assumed. But then they implemented the practice mode, and that practice mode literally teaches you this is what cover 3 is. This is how you counter cover 3.
That's cool.
This is what cover 2 is, right? Like, so they implemented that. Maybe not 6, maybe it was like 4 Maddens ago. But that really helped a lot of people.
Yeah, okay.
And then there are basic guides out there that you can follow. Like, this is how you counter this play. This is what
because
you
I
do to counter this play.
I like the basic introductory stuff on a lot of things, because a lot of the time, even though if I know certain things, even on heroes on Overwatch that I know really, really well, people sometimes say some things that make me, adjust how I approach that hero.
Yeah.
Even on the basic level stuff. So
Yeah.
that was one of my big entry level problems with any sports game, really, but specifically in NFL games, Madden.
Yeah.
The only NFL game really is that I just feel like there is such a gap between a new player and at other people's levels that play that game that I could never breach that gap.
There is a big gap, but it's not. But with practice mode and stuff that they have in, and
Practice, man.
And practice.
We talk about practice.
Practice.
Okay. No, I really because watching you stream it, it's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you been able to see a progression?
Yes.
In scene or no?
Well, originally, I'm talking about a progression from a long time ago. You do a lot more audibles.
Oh, now? Yeah. That's all you got to do. Yeah.
You do a lot
and
of
it's
audibles.
getting muscle. It's all muscle memory, so that you don't have to think about it.
Yeah.
Particularly on defense. Offense is easier than defense.
Yeah.
Defense is how you win. Like, that's the difference.
I really cannot look at chat because they're throwing out some of the picture before that one.
Which is why the sports game that you would enjoy, and I've said this many times, is FIFA, because you understand soccer.
I understand soccer at a really deep level, right? So
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you for your. That was a long question, but
On
appreciate it.
Apex though, 70 million. EA had its call. 70 million players.
People like it.
It's huge. EA is super stoked about it.
Got to be that
Clearly.
Halloween event.
Clearly, obviously,
Halloween.
super stoked.
trick or treat.
Apex. Have you
No,
been playing
this season 3 is really fun.
I have
It's
not.
really- I mean,
I have been really into Apex
it? Yeah.
until Modern Warfare came out, and I've been trying. That's been my shooter.
Yeah. What's the advice on Modern Warfare? So Modern Warfare is complete. I think Apex helps you. There's a crossover, obviously, in all first-person shooter games, but I think Apex. It's just Modern Warfare is completely different than any other first-person shooter, and your stress level, like you turn a corner and boom, you're instantly dead. You don't even know why you died.
You have
and
to.
it's just like instant. Oh my goodness, what happened?
You got to check your corners, man.
What's the advice? What's the advice there on?
on Call of Duty
Call of Duty.
specifically, you got to not care as much
About death. You just got to
specifically about death. Be aggressive and follow the walls, follow the corners, follow the outside, follow the lanes. And what that means is, even though these maps don't have as much traditional lanes as before,
Yeah.
you can still, like, for example, if you want to follow the outside of the map, it's easier to look. You know you're not going to be shot in the back
Yeah.
from that specific direction, right?
Yeah.
But Call of Duty's, the time to kill is pretty quick, and it's a rough game if you're trying to do well.
Oh yeah. Well, and we were playing last night, and one of the things that I mentioned was I've never been shot in the back more in a game.
Yeah.
And I think that's the most frustrating part. Is in other games, for the most part, a Battlefield, there's a distinct line, and you're very rarely shot in the back, right? In Apex, even in Apex, where there's no distinct line, you're still very rarely shot in the back.
No.
You always know where someone is.
You're still shot in the back. You just have a lot more survivability.
Yeah,
in Apex.
there you go. Yeah, so you can
The time
counter
to kill.
it. Yeah,
The TTK is
Yeah.
what the internet calls it.
it's like your stress level. I'll just be like, oh yeah, this is fun. I'm enjoying the game. Boom, and like my stress level skyrockets for a split second, and it's like, whoa.
It takes some getting used to, and if you're not careful, you could break some controllers.
Because
So
I
you
have not
to
played
dial it
Call of
back.
Duty since Modern Warfare 3, and that was the only one that I played multiplayer.
Oh, really? That was a bad one. I'm sorry.
Was Modern Warfare 3 the airport one? Which one was the airport
More,
one?
Modern Warfare 2.
Modern Warfare 2
That was a
was
good
the one. Yeah,
that was a really good.
That was
game.
the only one that I played multiplayer on. And so it's been a long time.
So how to improve? Use the weapons that are good. The M4. That's the weapon you start out with.
Yeah.
Use the M4, and then unlock all the bells and whistles to it. Use cold-blooded. I believe, or is that the one? What's the one that doesn't use AV?
Ghost.
And that's
UV.
funny because I did switch to the M4 last night. Finally, I was experimenting with all the guns.
Yeah, you unlock M4 at like levels 5 or
Yeah.
Yeah, it's right out. It's you. I think you could. I think that's the one you start with. It once you unlock loadouts. But yeah, just play. It's hard because this game is different than other games. Pay attention to your kill death ratio. Not to worry about it, but if you are dying way more than you're killing, you're probably not aggressive enough.
Well, see, I feel like I'm being aggressive, but I'm just.
I've
running,
watched you play. You're not aggressive at all.
but I'm
You
just
sit
running
back.
into death.
Yeah. But run. You got to run in a certain way. Run with walls. Every time you go to around a corner, have your
Aim.
gun ready
Aim.
because
you don't want to necessarily sprint.
yeah.
Do you aim or you
It
hip
takes-
fire?
It takes depends on the weapon.
situation.
Okay.
It takes time from going from the sprint to going to aim
And
down
I think that's
sight.
how I'm getting killed every
Yeah.
time because I'm
Once
sprinting.
you know that you might encounter people, slow down and then almost be ready to pre-fire to a certain extent, right? That's when you're being aggressive. You'll notice, yeah. It's a hard game because there's no real.
Well, I'll tell you the game.
There's no
that
MMR, so it's hard to improve when you're playing really, really good people and really, really bad
The game
people.
mode that was a blast was Search and Destroy,
That
and
was fun.
That's very
and-
good.
And I enjoy playing the shield guy in that game.
Yeah, Search and Destroy. That and Domination are my favorite modes.
Yeah, that's
Search
that-
and Destroy-
Search and Destroy is more
Tactical.
more traditional. Yeah, deliberate, slower pace.
But its slower pace was still the same amount of energy because everyone's watching you at a certain point.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, can David pull this off?
yeah. And then I do without firing a shot. Use my shield. Remember?
Yeah, I know. I remember.
Uh,
You just backed up into a
just
corner.
backed up and said, "Shoot me." Hey, I stopped myself.
I
there.
know, that
See
was really good.
Thank
You're
you.
growing up.
I'm
You're growing
improving. Guys, that does us for the week. Thank you very much, everybody, for joining us. Jordan,
Yes.
take us out. Tell everybody as the music plays what your plans are for this week, what your gaming plans are.
So I will be playing Modern Warfare.
Oh.
And probably some more Battlefield.
Battlefield.
The
You're
new,
making me
the new,
want to
the new
download
maps
that.
are good. The new maps are
You
good.
know what game I want to download too? Titanfall 2. A lot of people have been playing that lately and been talking to me about it. I'm like,
And then a game that I love is Outer Worlds.
oh.
It's so
That's
good.
a great game.
We didn't even
Excellent.
talk about it this show. That game is
How far are you
fantastic.
into Outer Worlds?
I'm pretty well. I don't know how far.
Here's
but
the
I'm
thing.
pretty far.
It takes me forever because I go through all the boxes and stuff.
I'm gonna keep the show going until you're ready. I can keep the volume down.
It's a great game.
It's a great game.
This
great
is the
game.
outro.
All right, guys.
See
We
you
love
later.
you. We'll see you next week. Thanks, everybody.
Have a good one. Bye bye.
Bye-bye.